So let's do the ACT. If you want to follow along, which ACT is this? The April 2018 A09 test. So let's just do it. We'll do the first 15 today, and we'll do this in 4 parts, I suppose. So number 1, a line in the standard coordinate plane passes through those points. What is the slope of the line? Very simple. What is the slope of the line between those points? Well, let's see. It looks like it's going up 9 from -6 to 3, and it's going over 7. So it should be 9/7. And they didn't even care that anyway. They just wanted it positive 0, negative undefined, cannot be determined. It's positive. It's positive 9/7. All right. What is the sum of the complex numbers? So this is one thing that I think is cool about the ACT is even if you don't know what a complex number is, you should have a gist and be able to have a good guess at this question. You're just going to add them. You're just going to combine like terms. So 3 plus 5 is 8. And frankly, there you go. There's your answer. Make sure -4i and 3i is -i. Last year at RT University, the ratio of the number of students accepted to the number of students applying for admission was 2:7. RT University accepted 630 students last year. How many students applied to RT University? Well, so you would just say, I would say, what did they multiply 2 by to get 630? They multiplied it by 315, because 630 divided by 2 is 315. So you just have to say, what is 7 times 315? Or if you wanted to set it up as an equation, you'd say 2 over 7 equals 630 over x. So then you would cross multiply 630 times 7 and then have to divide by 2. So see, that's the same thing we did, 315 times 7. And this is a calculator test, but I just don't like using the calculator, so I rather do it in my head, which is easy enough, because 300 times 7 is 2100, and then 15 times 7 is 10 times 7, plus 5 times 7. So it should be 2205, which is C. 3 line segments intersect as shown in the figure below, forming the angles 150, 40, and x respectively. What is the value of x? Okay, so just bit by bit. So this is a straight line. Straight lines have 180 degrees, so that's 30 degrees. And then, so the triangles also have 180 degrees. So 40 plus 30 is 70. So that means this is 110. And then again, straight lines have 180 degrees. So that means that x is 70. A carnival game is played using an open box with a rectangular bottom measuring 6 by 13. A square with sides 4 inches is painted on the bottom of the box. The game is played by dropping a small bead into the open box. If the bead comes to rest on the painted square, the player wins a prize. Assuming a bead is dropped into the box, comes to rest in a random spot on the bottom of the box, what is the following? It's close to the probability that the bead comes to a rest in the painted square. Right, so it's just the area of the square divided by the area of the entire box, which is area of the square is 4 by 4, so it's 16, out of the area of the entire box, which is 6 times 13, which is 78. And for that, we definitely just need to whip out the calculator. So 16 divided by 78 is roughly 0.21. Boom. C. 6. What is the slope-intercept form of that equation? That just means we got to get y by itself. We just have to add y to the other side. It's just 9x minus 5 equals y. Yeah, all you're doing is adding y to the other side. Oh, I see what they're trying to do here. Remember that it doesn't matter. You can always flip around equations. If 9x minus 5 equals y, then y equals 9x minus 5. Don't forget that. Okay. The line below contains the coordinates x, y, and z in that order. The ratio of the length of xy to the length of yz is 5/9. If it can be determined, what is the ratio of the length of xy to the length of xz? Okay, so the ratio of the length xy to yz is 5:9. So what is the ratio of xy to xz? Well, yeah, that's definitely just 5:14, because in this terms, the whole thing is 14. So the length might not be 14, but if you're looking in this terms, you can treat the whole thing as 14. Okay. The solution set of 2x plus 4 is greater than or equal to -8 is the set of all real values such that... Okay, so we're just trying to solve the inequality. So you solve inequalities just like you solve equations. You subtract the 4 from both sides, and you divide by 2. So x is greater than or equal to 6. Ooh, right, to negative 6. I just dropped the negative for some reason. X is greater than or equal to negative 6. Very nice. Very nice. Okay, which of the following is equivalent to a cubed to the 21? So yeah, when you have an exponent raised to an exponent, you multiply the exponents. So 3 times 21 is 63. A to the 63. E. 10, if f of x equals that, find f of negative 3. Right, so you just remember whatever is here, that's the x value. So we're plugging in negative 3 for x. So negative 3 squared is 9, and 9 times 3 is 27. And then 7 times that is, so minus 21 and minus 8. So 27 minus 21 is 6, minus 8, so negative 2. Beautiful. All right, so the two sides of a triangle are equal in length. The third side is 3 centimeters longer than either of the other two sides. Oh, because they're equal. Given that the perimeter of the triangle is 93 centimeters, what is the length in centimeters of the longest side? Okay, so let's do our triangle. Let's see, two of them are equal. I'll say those two are equal. So let's say x and x. The third side is 3 centimeters longer than either of the other two sides. So I think that's pretty clear to me that it's just 3 longer than one of the sides, not longer than 2x. So that's just x plus 3. So now we can think about the perimeters, adding all of those up. So 3x's plus the extra 3 to get 93. So now subtract 3 divided by 3, x equals 30. Yeah, that was easy enough. And see, I bet even if we did this, like if we try to think about combining those together, and then the other one is 3 bigger, that would be 4x plus 3 equals 93. So then 4x equals 90. So then x equals 90 over 4. And that's not even an answer choice, because that's 22.5. So they were kind about that. Good. All right, the 220 graduating seniors of Madison High School will sit in the center section of the school auditorium at the graduation ceremony. How many rows of seats will be needed to seat all the graduating seniors if the first 2 rows have 10 seats and then each succeeding row has 2 more than the previous row? Oh, that's interesting. I would just kind of want to add it up. The first row has 10 seats, and then 12, and then 14. I guess this will take quite a while. But otherwise, we're using like sigmas and stuff. So I don't know. I'm not against this. Plus, we have a calculator. So yeah, I guess I would just sit here and go 10 plus 12 plus 14 plus 16 plus 18 plus 20. Let's see, 10 is the lowest we need. Plus 22, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, plus 8, 9, 10. So that's the lowest answer choice. But we need 30 more, and 30 would be the next number. So we just need 11. Boom. G. So that's like definitely a dirty way to do it, but I think that's going to be like the best for y'all who are actually taking the ACT. That's kind of what I'm trying to show here, is what I think is the best way for y'all to do it. I really think that's the best way for y'all to do it. Because otherwise, like, you're thinking about summations and stuff, as far as I can tell. Because you're adding up, as you're starting with n, and you're adding 2 n minus 1s. So that would be, so you distribute the 2 and combine like terms, so you'd get 8 plus 2n. So it's the sum of that. This is like x. You're starting with 1. So, and if you use the sigma formulas, sigma from 1 to x of 8 is 8x. And then 2n would be 2. And what is the n formula? N times n minus 1 over 2. Well, I guess in this case, x. Yeah, this is gross, because then we're trying to do that equals 220. Well, let's see if this even gets us our answer. So then we have 8x plus x squared minus x equals 220. So we got to get everything to the same side. And then factor. Does that even factor? I don't think that does. You know what? I think I got my formula wrong. Let's think about this. If this is just the sigma of n, starting at I equals 1, going up to, let's say, 2 for now, what would that be? That would just be 1 plus 2. That would be 3. If I use this formula and plugged in 2, that's 2 times 2 minus 1 over 2, which is no good. So that's definitely supposed to be a plus. See, this is why this is even just too hard. But then it comes out, because then you have that this is 9x, 8x plus x. So now you can factor this pretty easily. X minus 11, x plus 20 equals 0. Wait, so then I'm getting my answer. Oh, right. So I'm getting that x equals 11 or negative 20, and negative 20 is no good because it's negative. You can't have negative number of seats. So 11 is the answer. So yeah, that's if you don't want to get with that sigma stuff, which who does, I would definitely just do this and just add up until you get there. You do have a calculator anyway. All right. 13 in the standard coordinate plane, the point 3, negative 7 is the midpoint of the line segment with endpoints 9 and negative 11. And wait, what? The standard coordinate plane, the points 3, negative 7 is the midpoint of those line segments. So the midpoint means just in the middle of both coordinates. So if one side is 9 and the middle is 3, that's 6 different. So to get the other one, we'd have to say it's negative 3. So that eliminates quite a bit of answers. And then the other one went from negative 11 up to negative 7. So it added 4. So then we have to add 4 from negative 7. So that should also be negative 3. B. Beautiful. 14. At school A, only 2 types of tickets were sold. Premium tickets for $10 and value tickets for $6 each. How many ticket value tickets were sold at school A? Oh, so A, number of tickets sold is 200, ticket sales is 1,400. So this is a system of equations because we got the number of tickets sold. So let's say, what do we have then? We have value and premium. So we know that the value plus the premium is 200 tickets. And then we can do the price. So it's $10 for premium, $6 for value, and that comes together to be 1,400. So how many value tickets were sold at school A? Well, we're just going to go to the calculator because that's going to be quicker. So if you got NumWorks, which you should have NumWorks, even though they don't sponsor me for some reason, if you go to... How do you clear equations? I'm trying to do shift, clear. Here, shift, clear. There we go. So we're going to type in x plus, we don't need to use all the different variables. Except for right. I don't know how I can delete that equation. I want x plus y equals 200. And x plus y... Or no, not x plus y, but 6x plus 10y equals 1,400. So those are the two equations. I need to just delete this equation. Why is it so difficult to delete an equation? I just needed backspace, not clear. Okay. So now you solve the equation and it tells you x is 150, y is 50. So how we set this up was that v was the x and p was the y. So the answer is 150. Use your calculator when you can. You don't need to do it out of your calculator if you can do it in the calculator. All right, so we'll finish up these last 2 questions then. The theater group had to pay each school a facility charge for use of its facility. School C charged the theater group 10% of the ticket sales and a fixed fee of $200. Dang. How much money did School C charge the theater group for the use of its facility? So it's just $200 plus 10% of their ticket sales. The ticket sales was $1,800. So 200, 10% of that is $180. So they charged them $380. Well, that was easy enough. So that was the 15. That was the plan. How long was that? That was 15 minutes? Oh, that's like perfect timing. So what is the difference between the median and the mean number of tickets sold at the 5 schools? Okay. So what are we talking about? Number of tickets? Yeah. So the median is the middle. So I would just look for the third highest. So that's the lowest. That's the second lowest. So the third highest is 250. So 250 is the median. And the mean is add them all up and divide. So Numbworks can also just like take the average of a bunch of numbers if you put them in, but it's easy enough to just go 200 plus 250 plus 300 plus 150 plus 275, divide all of that by 5, and say that the average was 235. So what is the difference? 15. Beautiful stuff. So that was part 1 of this ACT. We'll come back tomorrow with a video for part 2.